All right, cool. Thank you guys for joining us today. We're here with the VP of Sales from Homelight, Mr. Fazio Palomino. Briefly, I'll go over the framework and then let Fazio take over. But today, what we're going to be covering is purchasing your next home before selling your current one. What this eliminates or possibly eliminates for you is no rushing, no moving twice, and no worrying about a home sale contingency that would possibly weaken your offer. That's exactly what Homelight's buy before you sell program aims to do. So the program is designed for homeowners who want to make a smooth and confident transition to their next place. You get to move into your new home first while unlocking equity from your current home to make the most competitive offer. Four things that make this program a win. You get to unlock your home equity up front to use as a down payment. Make a stronger non-contingent offer so you're not waiting to sell first. Avoid renting and moving twice, which could get costly. And sell your own home for top dollar with no rush. So with that said, I'll let Fazio take over.
Thank you, Justin. I appreciate it. Let me share my screen just so we can see some visuals on the program. This is all right. Let's go back to the straight up top right there. All right. So just like Justin said, my name is Fazio Palomino. I'm with Homelight. And let me do the slideshow. There we go. Perfect. That's my name. That's my email. That's my phone number. After the presentation, if you have any questions, you could definitely reach out to me anytime. I am a 7 day a week guy. I'm in real estate. So you have questions about the program. I'm more than willing and able to answer those questions 7 days a week. So just like how the program talks about, it's buy before you sell. And some of the benefits before I get into the details of the program. So traditional real estate, if you're a home seller looking to buy another property, you might be talking to a traditional real estate agent, and someone like Justin King has more tools than more than 99% of the agents out there. He's a top 1% guy. So he has this program called Buy Before You Sell. But a traditional real estate agent will tell you that if you want to sell your house, if you want to buy another house, then you have to sell your house first. Okay. You can't just go and make an offer on a property. If you make an offer on a property, you're going to have to make a contingent offer on a property. And a contingent offer is saying you're able to, you're going to buy this house contingent on you selling your current house. Okay. And that's a non-starter in any market. But by making an offer that's non-contingent on selling your current house, it's going to help you win your future house in the beginning. It's going to make so it's going to be a cleaner offer. You're going to say, I'm going to buy this house non-contingent of selling this house. That's one of the big benefits of this program. Okay. And then another thing that it's going to do, the benefit is on the buy side, if you make a contingent offer on the property, and you don't want to sell your house first, then you're probably going to overpay for that property, meaning you're going to say, hey, look, I need to sell my house. So I want to buy your house contingent on me selling this house. In order to make that possible, I want to pay you more than what you're asking for the property. That's usually what you have to do. So with this program, you're going to be able to save more money by not having to overpay for that property, okay, on the buy side. And then on the list side too as well, what's going to happen is if you do get that offer accepted on the list side, okay, um, on the buy side, then you only have a short amount of time to be able to um, sell your property. You have usually about 2 months to sell your property, okay? And so what that's going to have you do is it's going to make you drop the price even more, drop the price even more, and you're going to lose money on the list side of your property. So this is the benefit. The benefit of this program is it's going to remove all of that. It's going to help you save more money on the buy side when you purchase your property, and it's going to help you make more money on the list side when you sell your property. Okay. So let's go into the program. So just very simple, and then we'll go more deep into the program is we're going to look at your current home if you need to sell your house before you buy another one. We're going to take a portion of the equity out of your current home. Okay. We're going to use a portion of that equity for the down payment on your future home. You're going to be able to write a non-contingent offer on your future home. The benefit of this is going to help you avoid renting or moving twice. Okay. And then a vacant and stage home is going to help you sell your house for a lot more money than what you would have sold it for if you were selling it traditionally while you're still in the home. Okay. So let's go deeper into that program. So the amount of equity that we're going to unlock for you is anywhere between 70 to 90% of the value of the home. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to see how much is this home actually worth? Well, if we think the home is worth $1 million, then we're going to be able to unlock anywhere between seven to $900,000 of that home. Okay. So for example, if you owe, say you owe $500,000, just for easy math, these are all easy numbers. You owe $500,000 on the home, then we're going to say we can unlock seven to $900,000, which that we're going to have to minus from whatever you owe on the property, and we're going to be able to unlock anywhere between two to $400,000 of your house. Okay. What we're going to do with that money is we're going to use that equity that we just unlocked for a down payment for your future home. Okay, so we're going to take that two to $400,000 in that example that I just gave you. We're going to fully underwrite you for a loan. Okay, and we're going to use that as a down payment for your future house. Okay, one of the greatest benefits of this program is we're going to take your current home off of your debt to income ratio, meaning we're going to act like, even if you do, we're going to act like you don't own that house on your credit report. And we're going to fully qualify you for the future house like you don't even own this current home, which you do. Okay. Now you're fully underwritten for your future house. You have your down payment. You can own and live in your current home until you find the right home. Okay. So whether that take a day from now or a year from now, it doesn't matter. You could take a deep breath. You could find the right house with Justin as your realtor. Once you find that right house, then you can make that non-contingent offer on that future home. You can get that offer accepted. You're going to close on your new home, and then you're going to move out of your current home into your new home. Okay. So now you're in your new home. Now, Justin is going to sell your current home on the market. Once that home is sold, obviously, like we talked about, now it's a vacant, potentially staged home. Vacant and staged homes sell for a lot more money than what they would sell for if you were currently in the house. Um, and so now, once that home finally sells, then through escrow, that's when you guys pay Homelight back the equity that we let you borrow. Okay, so in this case, say we let you borrow $400,000 for the down payment. We don't, you already been in your house. Say it took you 30 to 40 days to sell this house on the market. You haven't paid anything to Homelight at all. You're comfortable in your new home, just in selling your current home. You finally selling your current home, and then you pay us back through the proceeds of the sale, the equity that we let you borrow. So in this case, say we let you borrow the $400,000. So you pay that back through the proceeds of escrow, and then we charge a 2.4% closing cost fee on the final selling price of the property. So that's really the program. Okay. So what this program does, and I'm going to go back to this page right here just to kind of sum it all up, is this program allows you to truly buy before you sell. Okay. Um, Traditional real estate says that you have to sell your house first or put it on the market and then go look for a property. Um, this is going to avoid all that stress and allow you to buy before you sell. So, any questions do you have?
What do you do with the mortgage payment on that other? So you'll have two if you find the other house?
Yeah, so you will still own both houses. So what we do with the clients is we say, hey, look, we're going to lend you this equity. In this case, we talked about we'll lend you $400,000. We're going to lend you this equity. You're still going to have to pay for your mortgages. You're going to have two mortgages. Obviously, your new home, it's most likely going to anywhere between 30 to 45 days that you're going to pay your new home mortgage, right? So you're still going to have a little bit of time for that. But then in the meantime, while Justin's still selling your house, you're probably going to still pay maybe one, maybe two more mortgage payments. So you probably want to set aside at least 2 months worth of mortgage payments to allow Justin some time to sell your home through the equity that we let you borrow. So, for example, if your mortgage payment is $3,000 a month, the $400,000 that we let you borrow, we would tell you, hey, set aside $6,000, to allow some time for Justin to sell your home.
Okay. Oh, there's another question I have. What was it? Yeah, I can't. There's another question I have. I'm trying to remember it. You got me with that. When you have the other property, you've closed, and what happens if it doesn't sell, let's say after 60 days? Do you guys do something, or does it just stay on the market for six
Yeah,
months?
so what we do is we put a full in order to take the current home off the DTI, okay, there's a Fannie and Freddie and Jumbo guideline that allows us to take their current home off the DTI. We put together a fully executed backup offer on the property for the loan payoff value. Okay. So what I mean by the loan payoff value is if they say in the example that I said that they owe $500,000 on the property and say we unlocked $400,000 in the property, then that means that's 400,000 plus 500,000 is $900,000. That's the loan payoff value. That's how much to relieve the debt off the property. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, to the underwriter, we want to take this current home off the DTI. Here's a fully executed RPA backup offer that says if this house does not sell within 120 days, we're doing 120 days, then the seller has an option to sell it to Homelight for the loan payoff value. However, that might scare anybody. They're like, well, I want to sell my house for 1 million plus. I don't want to sell it for $900,000. That's fine. In the contract, we're going to say that they have upside guarantee too as well. So if in fact that we do step in and they want us to, because we're going to always give them a choice, do you want us to buy the property? And they want us to buy the property for the loan payoff value, we will step in and buy the property for the loan payoff value. But then we're going to change over title with us. We're going to relist it with Justin, the real estate agent, and then he's going to continue to sell it on the market. And then if the house sells for more than what we bought it for, then we're going to cut them a second check for whatever the upside is. So the client never pays us more than the 2.4% closing cost fee at the end of the transaction.
Yeah, so they're protected,
They're
pretty much.
protected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then the only other thing would just be a matter of if, well, I guess if the loan payoff, I guess that would just be if the market were to tank all of a sudden. It's not, I mean, it's not doing that. But what determines between a 70% and a 90%? Is that the underwriter's choice or?
So it's our choice. So what we do is this and these are great questions, and I don't usually present that until somebody asks the question, right? But these are great questions. So it's off the bat, it's 70% first. Okay.
Okay.
So we say, hey, look, if it's let's say in your area, the average home price is what is the average home price in your area?
I don't know, 600K, we'll
Okay,
say.
so I'm gonna do a little easier math. I'm gonna say 500,000.
500K.
Okay.
Okay.
So $500,000, 70% of $500,000 is $350,000. Okay. So we're gonna say for a $500,000 house, we're gonna say, hey, we can unlock $350,000, right? And the client might say, oh, I need more than that. And we're gonna say, great, well, we could actually go up to $450,000, right, at the $500,000 house. But we need to look at your finances. And then so we're going to look at anything that they could liquefy pretty quickly, right? We're going to look at the IRAs, the 401ks, their savings accounts, their stocks, bonds, anything that they could liquefy that they have in their accounts. They just don't want to use that for their future house. They want to keep those in those accounts. We're going to say, hey, look, we want to look at them. If you have the extra $100,000 that you want us to unlock in your account, then we can go ahead and lend you the extra $100,000, which up to 90%, the 450. But we're going to put in contract for some reason, if you can't sell your house for what you think you're going to sell your house for, and you can't pay us back, then you have to liquefy those accounts to pay us back.
Makes sense.
Yeah. But let's go on the other end. Say they say, no, I'm good with the 70%. Like say they own their house outright, right? That's a $500,000 valuation. They're free and clear in their house. They don't owe anything on their house. Therefore, we could release $350,000 for their down payment. That's enough money for their down payment. Then they say, you know what? I'm fine with 70%. They take that at 70% and say for some reason the market does tank, right? Say it drops drastically, and now they can't sell their house for $350,000, right? But we gave them $350,000 and say they end up selling their house for $300,000. They can't pay us back the whole 350. We don't come after them for that extra $50,000. Like we just take the loss.
Yeah. And they do like when you go to buy this, so what's to protect, I guess you guys, I assume there's like a full appraisal before you make an offer at 70% versus that way you avoid getting some beater house, or no, it's not
No,
even.
no appraisal, no. So all we ask for any client and any agent that wants to submit is we ask them just for photos of the property.
Gotcha.
They provide us photos, and then we look at them with our eyes on the photos. We don't ever go out to the property, and we say, okay, this looks like, and then we do our own comps, and we say this looks like this is going to be a good bet for us, and we make that decision that way.
And the incentive for an agent is like, look, you don't want to send them a beater because then you can't even list and sell it because you're trying to sell it anyways. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, you ultimately have to sell that property, you as an
Yeah.
agent, right? And so yeah, but so far, I'm going to tell you right now, so far we've been doing this program for about 5 years,
Yeah.
a little over 5 years now. For this iteration, we've done many different iterations of this program. For this iteration, it's only been about a year and a half, the way we do it now, because we've had to adjust and adjust and adjust. So far, we haven't bought any houses. Usually, our agents do sell the houses within 120 days.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we haven't bought any houses, but we would assume that that we might have to buy some houses and but we lose money when we buy houses, right? Because we only charge the 2.4. We're not a fix and flipper. We're not going to say, "Oh, we'll buy
Yeah.
it at 90% of the value and then go and, flip it for more money." We have to give the upside to the client. So it's definitely we do about 200 of these. No, yeah, about 250 of these a month right now. In all of the United States. We're in all 50 states. So if somebody wants to move from San Diego to Oregon or to Washington to Beaumont, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. All 50 states we're able to do this anywhere. So it works perfectly, especially people that want to move out of state,
Move out of state. Yeah.
right?
I guess the only thing for them is just a matter of that 2.4% on top of, let's say, our 5%.
Yeah,
It's like, it's like just a matter of the pitch is more of, okay, you're going to pay a little bit more, but you're going to get your money. You're going to be able to take off to Washington and go
correct.
buy your house. Then I'll turn around and sell this one while it's empty. And yeah, just something like that. That way they don't have the stress. They can go buy the house they want in a different location if they're
Yeah.
already sitting with equity. Yeah.
Yeah. So let's give you a little scenario, right? It's the same thing when I said in the very beginning the benefits. So the little scenario would be, okay, great, right? Because that's always going to be the biggest for any client is like, oh my God, I got to pay Justin King commission, right? I got to do title and escrow fees. And then now you want me to pay a 2.4% also, just like a regular realtor commission. And I tell people on like a $500,000 deal, that's $12,000. That's an additional $12,000 that we're asking for on a $500,000 house. I say, yes, it is very expensive. Okay. But let's play a little scenario. Okay. So say you're just moving, you're in Beaumont and you want to move to Riverside. Okay. And say you play that scenario, you're like, okay, great. Well, then let's do this. How about you list your house and then once you get all the contingencies removed, then you could start actually putting in non-contingent offers on future properties, right? But then at that particular time, you only have like 10 to 15 days max, right? To go find the right house and make a non-contingent offer, which at that point you might be settling for a house that you wouldn't have settled for in the very beginning. So you got to think about, do you really want to settle for something because you're rushed? Probably not, okay? Or you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and not list my house or list it, and then if I see a home that I absolutely love, then I'm going to write a contingent offer. Like in this market, maybe I get a contingent offer accepted. Okay, great. So go and try that, right? Where say you get a house that just hit the market that you absolutely love, you go see it, you're like, "Oh my God, but my house hasn't been into contract yet or even removed any of the contingencies, then I got to make a contingent offer on this property." If this is a brand new house, say you're the only offer on the property. If you're lucky, you're the only offer on the property. are you going to have any leverage to negotiate that price? And the answer is going to be no, right? So you're going to either have to you're going to have to write a full price offer on that property if you're even if you're the only offer, or you're going to have to even go higher than a full price offer. So is that full price offer more? Are you going to go as high as is it going to be more than $12,000 for this program? It's probably going to be more than you're probably going to add on more than $12,000, right? To go write that contingent offer, right? So then this program automatically just works for you. It's better for you, right? Say you do. Okay, let's look at this scenario too. This is what I talk to a lot of clients too. So say you do write a contingent offer and you do get that accepted. Okay, great. You got accepted. But now you got to list your property and you only have a couple months to continue with that certain offer, right? Until you have to actually sell your house. So now you got to put your house on the market. And what if your house doesn't sell in the first weekend? Then you're going to stress because you're going to lose this house that you just wrote a contingent offer on. So now you're going to start decreasing your price. Or maybe you might accept a lower price than what you thought you would accept. Is that lower price $12,000 lower? And it probably is, right? Because $12,000 in the all scheme of things, $12,000 is not going to be that much money
Mm.
when you're talking about $500,000 or $750,000 real estate, right?
Yeah.
So like those are all the different scenarios that I put clients in when I talk to them and I say, hey, look, these are all your different options, but and I know you're talking about, how 2.4% is expensive and it is, but your other options might be even way more expensive,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, exactly. I see where
So
that one I totally
yeah,
get.
yeah. So and then what happens this too is if you have a vacant home, right? In most cases, unless you live like you're like in a staged home. Some people live like it's a staged home, right? Like, but most people don't live like it's a staged home. They got an oversized couch or a too small couch or whatever, or it's not clean or the walls need to be painted. So if you have a vacant home and it's staged by a professional like a Justin King, right? And he stages it and he puts his photography in there. And now, because most people, start homes online before they even want to even go look at the house, right? They look at it online and the pictures look great, then they're going to look at it. So now someone like Justin is able to put his best stager in there, put his best videographer in that home, and make the photography just look so amazing. Where now, when he couldn't do that if you were still in the home, right? Now online, the property even looks so much more amazing, drives way more traffic into the home. Obviously, we know more traffic creates more interest. And then because of that, now he has multiple different people that are interested in the property, multiple different offers. On average, in NAR, National Association of Realtors, have done studies many times that vacant and staged home sells for 5 to 10% more. So say on the lower end, the house does sell for 5% more, then this program costs 2.4%. Then that means you're actually netted more money by doing this program than you would have netted by not doing this program, right? So
Yeah.
there's another thing to think about too. So there's so many different ways you could think about this program and how it will benefit you and actually save you money.
What about like the financing aspect? So is there a way like, okay, going rate 6.5%. And I assume your rate's something like 6.5, but are you able to take a slightly higher rate for lower costs? So then when you have your down payment money back from the sale of the other house and you can refinance again to get a lower
Yeah.
rate, things like that.
So we work with many different lenders, right? And so I always recommend the lender that we work with, and the reason why we work with this lender is because they actually recast, which
Oh,
means
okay.
that they don't have to refi, right? So never
Okay. Yeah.
this program, let's recast, and just for everybody to know what that means is that with recasting, you don't have to go through title and escrow and pay all those additional refinance fees that you would have to pay for. Is you lock in the rate that you initially got, and hopefully you get the best rate at that particular time. And then once finally that you get the rest of the proceeds from the sale of your property, say for example, we unlock 70%, say we unlock $350,000, but you sold your house for $500,000. Now you're going to get that check for $150,000 that you want to put back into this home. And so you automatically take that $150,000, put it back into the home, and we're just going to put that add that into your down payment, which drops your monthly payment
Yeah.
lower, right? So the recasting is far more superior than the refinance
Yeah.
cost-wise, right? So
Hmm, good
so
to know.
So I would definitely recommend the recast over the refinance, especially if you have a good rate. Unless you can get a better rate in that time frame, right? Then let's go refinance,
Yeah.
right? So yeah.
Cool. I That answered my questions.
Okay. I got a couple, just to kind
Yep.
of throw them out there. Say I walk into a house, new build, whatever, fall in love with it, contact, my agent. How long from that first meeting could I, does the process take? Like, so say, like, hey, I love this house, I want to put an offer in on it. You guys haven't seen it, no pictures. How soon back would I hear a response?
Yeah, so you tell me that you want to get approved for the program, and by getting approved doesn't mean that you have to use the program, right?
Hmm.
Then we're just going to ask you for photos of your property, and then you could take the photos with your phone. It have to be high quality, just regular photos. You're going to send that over our way. Once we get those photos within 24 hours, we're going to respond back to you exactly what we can do for you and approve you within 24 hours.
Okay. And then when I go to list the house or, after the fact, who sets the price? Would it be Homelight or the agent, the seller?
Yeah, so it's going to be between Homelight has nothing to do with the sale of your property. So between you and your agent, you're going to decide what the best price to sell the property is going to be for
Okay. Um, I had another question. You said you guys are in all 50 states?
all 50 states.
Okay. And then once I do get that approval, how long is that good for? Like, say the house I want, I get beat out on, I don't find something for 2 more months. Do I have to start the process over again?
No, so that approval, we don't have an expiration date on it. That approval, you could take as long as you need to go find the right house. What happens is every 30 days, meaning um, the amount of equity that we can unlock goes up or down depending on the market, right? So,
Okay.
so you
Hmm.
don't have to start all over again by giving us new photos of the property ever. But what we're going to do is, if for some reason you wrote an offer and then you don't find another house for 3 more months to go write another offer on, then you're gonna tell us, hey, we're gonna write another offer within 1 to 2 hours. We're going to say, great, let's just reassess how much equity we can unlock for you at this particular time. We're just going to do some quick comps in the area, see if there's new comps that close around the area. And for some reason, if the house has been increasing, then we're going to say, oh, we can actually unlock more money for you, right? But
Okay.
if the houses around the area have been decreasing, then we'll say you can unlock less money for you. So just to give you an example, say the housing market in 3 months' time goes down by, I would say the most would be like 3% in 3 months' time, right?
That's
Then
fair.
we're just going to say if we can unlock $350,000 3 months ago, then we're only going to be able to unlock maybe $340,000, right? So it's not going to go up, it's not going to go down or up drastically.
Okay, that makes sense. And then going from like because you guys can do 70, but if we go up to 90%, there's extra assets involved. Is there more fees involved because it's more risk at the 90%?
Yeah, no more fees at all. No, it's a 2.4% no matter what.
Okay. And then you guys have your own lender that you recommend to use?
Correct.
Okay. And then I'm assuming is it the same one for all 50 states or is it a different one for
Same
each?
one for all 50 states is the lender that we recommend. They
Okay.
have licenses in all 50 states. They're the number one lender in all of the US, and that's why we recommend them.
Awesome. Okay, I think that's all I got. I didn't see any other questions in the chat. Any other stray questions that you normally get or that nobody asked that
Um,
you were kind of expecting or anticipating?
no, just as we close up, I want to there's a couple of the buy box things that I think we need to keep into place is the way this works is it has to be a single family residence, a townhome, or a condo, right? We cannot do this on any land. We cannot do this on any mobile home or manufactured home. It has to be single family condo townhome. Okay. And we only do this through conventional loans and jumbo loans. Okay. However, there's a lot of times where people say, well, I want to use my VA benefit. Okay. And what we normally tell them is, hey, look, if you have a home that you have to sell, we could take enough equity out of there, make you a conventional buyer for now, and to get you into your new home, and then you could always refinance down the road to the VA loan if you want to.
Okay, makes sense.
But I never want to turn if people that always, well, if it doesn't work for VA, it doesn't work for VA because there's ways that we make it work for VA, right? Through the way that I just told you that to make it
Okay.
work. So
Okay, cool. Yeah, if that's everything, I think you answered all my questions. And
perfect. No, I hope I was clear enough for you guys to understand the program, and it's a great program, great option. I'm here to help anytime.
okay, yeah, no, I appreciate your time and I appreciate everyone that hopped on. This is a good option for, obviously people that don't want to do a contingent sale or are looking to kind of ease the stress on that side of it as we get into, a hotter seller's market. Programs like these are a very rare find. I wish I had access to this a few years ago. I probably could have helped a lot more people. But yeah, I guess to close out, thank you everyone for jumping on. Any questions you guys have, you could reach out to me specifically or Fazio. I think his information was in there. But yeah, thank you. And, I look forward to answering any other questions down the road or helping you guys out.
Thank you, Justin.
Cool. Thank you.
Thanks,
All right,
Justin. Okay,
bye.
later, guys.